Okay, so it's come to it. I've got to take the boiler out because it's been a pain in the backside. A typical intermittent fault. 1 minute it fires up, works a treat for hours on end, next minute it won't light. So I've had several experts look at it, and they've all suggested I've got to take it out and clean it. But I'll show you what happens. It probably won't now, but when you turn it on, this is only on gas by the way, it works perfectly right on electric. You turn it on, you can hear it fire, and then after a while the little red light will come on. Sometimes it'll stay on and it'll work for hours, and then others it fires off immediately. I've tried waiting, I've tried turning the gas on and off. There you go, see the little red light, and off it goes, and then it continues to do that. Before we went away the previous weekend, was it previous weekend? Last weekend. I got the airline and blew it up the vent, as it were. I'll show you that. And everything was working fine while we were at home. Not a problem. And then it all started going pear-shaped when we were away. So, yeah, so we blew an airline up in this hole, took this cover off, took that metal plate off, but you still can't see the burner. So there's only one thing for it, and that's got to come out. So that's what we're going to do. So oh, hello again.
Would you like a coffee?
Oh, I'd love one, please. Yeah.
I'll just get the next load of washing, then I'll come in.
Sweet. I'm just telling everyone about our ball ache of a boiler.
Okay. Your day's job.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you go on.
I've done it now. So, but basically, I keep saying basically, but I'm just going to have a quick look in the cupboard. Oh, you can't actually see, but the boiler, half of it is in behind there, in behind that board which I put around to protect it, and then the other half, obviously I'll make it a bit clearer for me in a minute, is underneath there. So
So drink's still under there.
so I shan't show every single nut and bolt removed and the cursing and the swearing that's no doubt going to follow, but I'll show you in stages, and then hopefully we can find out what the problem is. Oh, and by the way, I am a trained stuntman, so playing with gas is absolutely no problem at all. So first things first, just whip this outer cover off. There's just 6 screws holding it on, and then it's a 7mm socket, and we'll just undo those 4 and take that plate off. Right, that would be better. So I think you can see in the back is the igniter, the sparky bit, and then the one in the front there that the light is shining on is the actual sensor that detects the flame, and that just sits next to the burner. But as you can see, there's absolutely no way, even if you've got little diddy hands, that you're going to get your hand in there to do anything. So it's going to be a case, unfortunately, of taking it all out. So obviously back inside the van. So what I've done inside is put this just a board up here, so that all our stuff that's inside, mainly the drinks compartment, so all the tins don't fall over and crack into all this lot. So that's obviously fairly straightforward. There's a cold feed in to the bottom of the tank, and that's when it gets heated up and the hot comes out. That's an overflow relief valve, I would imagine, and then that there dumps all the water in the tank. So I've already done that. There's 2 fittings here, and then somewhere in there is the gas feed, which presumably runs to some terminal the other side. You can see all the electrical bits. So I'll get rid of this board, pull this out, and then start cursing. So I've actually removed the cupboard door because I think it's going to be a bit easier, so I keep whacking myself with that. But there's the gas feed in, which I've obviously isolated the gas, and there's the electrics into it. There's a couple of wires in that there, so I'll disconnect the PCB board, and I think there's well, there isn't actually a screw in there, but there should be a fixing in there, so that saves me having to undo that one. Yeah, and it should hopefully just pull out from the other side, he says. So, a bit childish, I know, but Fidget's having a wee. Yes, and I did. There you go. Oh, look at that! I did make the rookie mistake of thinking I drained it completely, but obviously I hadn't. So bit of splashback, but you know, it's all good fun, isn't it? Okay, what we'll see minutes, no, even seconds on film has actually taken quite a while to drain all that water out. It's surprising how long it takes to drain 10 litres. So next thing is to undo these joints, which I'm led to believe are only done at finger tight because there's an O-ring in behind. I don't know whose fingers. Oh, there you go. So hopefully we won't be sprayed with water. I'll just pull that out gently. Okay, and looks like there's the O-ring. So I need to save that. Yeah, so it looks in quite good condition. I'll put it up there out of the way. And then do the same with the hot fuse. Oh, loose. And pull that off there. Whoops. And the O-ring, actually the O-ring's inside on that one, so I'm going to have to fish him out before. I suppose I can take those off. I'll probably get the cover off a bit better. Come on, you little so-and-so. Oh, this makes interesting viewing, doesn't it? There you go. Oh, I see, it's because the end of the pipe is flanged slightly. Anyway, that'll come out. So, that's all the wet stuff done with. And hopefully, that looks like it's the main feed in for the 240, so we'll sort that out in a minute. Right, we find ourselves back in the cupboard. I don't know if anyone can see it. I'm struggling. But in there's the gas fitting. So I'm just going to get hopefully a 17mm spanner and whip that off. Okay, gas is off. You still alive, Suze?
Yep.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, excellent. That's handy. So what I might do is we're plugged into the socket at the moment, aren't we? Can you go into the technical cupboard?
Or physically.
Let me just show the technical cupboard. You don't really want to go in there because it's a right pig in mess. But see in the middle there, there's like 3 switches behind that plastic.
Here?
Yeah, the big box with the 3 switches, and then there's the one to the left of it. They've all got little red bits and little green bits underneath it.
Red.
Okay, so the one to the left of that hasn't got anything. The biggest switch.
The big switch.
So you flick that down.
Yeah.
And then the whole lot should now be off. So that's the wire I've just disconnected, which obviously does the 240 heating element along with all its cable ties. So now in theory, if I give that a good tug, that should come to me. So do you want to, should we film this momentous a moment, or do you want to do it afterwards? Do you want to hold the camera and then it gives me both hands to...
Right, at that angle.
Whichever angle you
Come
can,
round a bit.
as long as you can see
So
what I'm
you've got
doing.
room. Yeah.
So
There's definitely no more water in it.
oh, probably. Thinking hopefully that'll fill out.
Oh,
yes, look at that.
That's good.
You know what it looks like? I know what I'm doing.
I'm impressed.
Except that one. I'm not going to lift it out now.
Oh, I can't see very well.
Oh.
Sun, you right?
Cable's hooked up. Right, okay.
And there we have it.
And there we have it. Because I'm just interested before I have my coffee to see what could be causing the problem. Okay, as you can see, water bit out of the gas bit,
Oh, it's really clean.
and to be honest, it's very, very clean in there. Yeah. So that pipe out of there is obviously for allowing water or condensation to escape, I suppose. So the only thing is whether or not these are faulty. I say it seems to be igniting the flame, but whether it's this that's causing a problem. But I'll take that out. I'll need a little torque screw like it. I'd have to investigate more.
You can't prove you fixed it without putting it all back together.
That's the trouble. Well, I haven't done it yet.
No.
The burner looks fairly clean, to be honest. But I'll give that a bit of a wipe round. But yeah, it all looks rather nice for 15 years old. Well, I'm assuming it hasn't been touched in 15 years, but anyway, we shall see. Okay, so annoyingly, or fortunately, I don't know which way you want to call it, but the flame sensor doesn't appear to have any cracks in the insulator at all, and the burner, it looks quite clean. So actually looks like that thing from Star Trek. Anyway, so everything else, there's not any marks, any muck or any crap in it. And this thing, from what I can see, get the airline, just have a little squirt here and there, but I'll blow that through just to make sure there's no crap in there. So it does look quite clean. Anyway, it's going to be one of those ones you put all back together and pray that it works and never plays up again. We got a new one of these electrodes, so as you can see they're pretty much identical. I was hoping that one was sort of slightly bent or something, just to see if, you know, that could be the problem. But anyway, I'll change it anyway, and then put all this lot back together, climb it back up, chuck some water in it, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, it's solved the problem. If not, it's the PCB board, I would imagine. Okay, get back to you.
A few moments later.
Everything's back as it was. Just get around in there. Have to tidy the wiring up that side, but let's go up and see what happens. So you can hear it fire up. Fingers crossed. Does appear to have solved the problem, whatever the problem was. So, whether it was flame rectification electrode, all sounds very, very complicated. Let's hold that a bit steadier. Obviously I can't see anything wrong with it. I was hoping to find a crack or something down it, but no, nothing. So whether that was just faulty, or whether something else in the system, maybe it was a burner needed clearing out or something, because it was very, very temperamental. It seemed to be working fine for a while, and then obviously not, but it all seems to be up to temperature. You turn the stat down, you hear the boiler kick off, turn it up, it fires again. So hopefully, I would say that was fixed, but only time will tell. Thank you very much.